What is going on, Nuggets Nation, NBA fans? I am Tom Leuthner, and that is a massive win, sending us to another Game 7. Definitely defying the odds here, in my opinion. We were not supposed to be close in this series. I didn't think so, if I'm being honest with you. I know I'm a little negative here and there, but this is definitely an amazing game. It was an amazing game to watch, and I want to hop right into this first topic, and that is watching an amazing player off the bench, which is what we needed, and that is Julian Strawther. He definitely proved that he deserves more, and I've been saying it throughout every single episode that David Adelman should be playing Julian Strawther because he is what we need off the bench. We needed a spark plug, we needed a bench shooter, and he proved to be that. He came in today, played 20 minutes, which is doubling his current most minutes in the his former amount of most minutes in the series, and played 20, put up 15 points, got his 2 rebounds. He shot 3 for 4 from the three-point line with 3 fouls. So, I mean, he came in, fouled a little bit, got 2 early fouls, but he ended up doing exactly what we needed. And that was score off the bench, right? I mean, listen, not saying that Watson and Westbrook don't give us good minutes, but he is what we needed. Sure, Russ comes in and does his thing, but I think the last 3 games, Russ has been a liability, and that's something I've been saying. He's not doing what he did in the beginning of the LA series. He's not doing what he did at the beginning of this series. I mean, he came in, he had, 8 points, 3 rebounds, shot 3 for 8, but he had 4 turnovers, and those turnovers were in the non-Murray minutes, and Murray was having a great game, and they led to runs for OKC, and we couldn't afford that. And we can't afford that. But I think Strawther played those amazing minutes. I think that he came in, did everything we needed to, and we were able to play him with our starting 5 without Porter on the floor. That's what we needed. And I've been saying that he should have been in our starting 5, especially going into this game, and he proved that he is now, for us, with Porter's injury, a starting caliber player. And I would love to see more Strawther minutes next game. We're going to need him. We're going to need the shooting. But I'm also not mad if he misses his first couple shots that you take him out. I think that he should have been playing earlier in the series, and maybe we would have won more games and the series would have been over by now. But I'm happy to finally see him getting the flowers that he deserved, especially by David Adelman, who I think did a terrible job of actually playing him earlier in the series. I want to jump into this next topic right now, and that topic is continue to push and defy the odds. We were not supposed to win this game. We were not supposed to be this far in the series, like I said before. We need to continue to do that. What I mean by keep pushing is Michael Porter Jr. is playing through his injury. He actually played well for what he's been. He was 4 for 9, 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 29 minutes, had his 10 points, 4 rebounds. I mean, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Those are fine. He's playing through a shoulder injury. He's pushing. He's helping defy the odds of a player that should not be playing, especially with the trainer saying it should be a 4 to 6-week injury. Jamal Murray today defied the odds, came out, kept pushing through. I think he said the flu at the end of the game, which you could tell at times he was definitely not good enough to play. You take a cut to him on the bench, and he has a towel over his face. It looks like he can't even move on the bench. So he came in and continued to defy that. Jokic is finally doing Jokic-like things, and again, he's the most efficient player we may have ever seen. I know it's funny, you look back, you say he shot 33% from the floor. That's not good, and he's terrible for it because by his standards, he is the most efficient player we've ever seen. He came in today. He got his free throws, which is something we haven't been seeing, especially from him. He had 29, 14, and 8. Closest, I believe, to a triple-double this series. Shot 9 for 14 from the floor. Hit 2 big buckets when we needed them, one being the only 3 he hit this series. And he's proving that he's that guy, but he needs to continue to push. Like I said last episode, I think he is dealing with an elbow injury a little bit. And it is sort of plain to see him missing free throws, which doesn't look good. But at the same time, I don't think he's fully healthy. Christian Brown came out. He pushed through it. 23, 11, and 5. 11 rebounds from our shooting guard is amazing. He finally did what everybody said he couldn't do, and that's hit the corner threes. He was 50% from the three-point line today, which is what we've been needing from him because he hasn't been able to hit the shots. So that is amazing to see, especially from Christian Brown. Our starters did their thing. You had Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon didn't score much, 5, 7, and 7, but those 7 rebounds, 7 assists, those are what we needed from him, or what Denver needed from him. And we were able to, they were able to get it done. They were able to do what they could to finally push through and continue to push through injuries, through odds, through whatever it was that was thrown at them. They continued to push. The next topic I want to get into here is Denver not relying on the exact same situation that they had in this game. We were able to, as fans, sit there and watch. I mean, Jalen Williams shot 3 for 16 from the field. That's not going to happen again. Shea got in foul trouble early. That's not going to happen again. I believe Holmgren and Hartenstein both were in semi-foul trouble. That won't happen again. I mean, you go back and you look at the stats, and we shot the same from the field, and they took more shots. We can't bank on that as fans watching the game. Denver can't bank on that as players for that to happen, continue happening throughout the series. You as players cannot look at it and go, okay, you know what? We won this game strictly based, if you look at the stats, our free throw percentage and 10% better from the three-point line against a team who's been lighting us up from three. And again, as a player, you're realizing we're not shooting that well throughout the series, and they're shooting amazing, and you're able to pull out a 12-point victory, which is great to see, but you cannot bank on the exact same situation. You can't bank on OKC going home and shooting this poorly, especially a guy like Jalen Williams or Shea getting into foul trouble, even though he dropped 32 points on us. So imagine he's playing the entire game. That's probably a 50 bomb, and you cannot bank on him getting into foul trouble unless we do it. Unless Denver has just as good of a game drawing fouls next game that they did this game. That's something that Denver cannot bank on when it comes to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You cannot bank on those fouls. You cannot bank on, again, Jalen Williams not shooting well. You cannot bank on their bench coming in and not hitting more threes or taking more threes. I mean, they came in. Aaron Wiggins actually shot terribly. He shot 0 for 4. Isaiah Joe shot 0 for 2. You can't bank on those guys not hitting threes. You can't bank on Cason Wallace only hitting 2 of his 5. Usually he's going 3 or 4. So you can't bank on that. You can't bank on Caruso going 2 for 5 because usually he's going 3 or 4, and he's probably shooting 7 of them. These are things that Denver cannot bank on going into this Game 7. This is a must-win game now. I know that, I said that this is a must-win game, but now next game is a must-win game, and that's the last topic here. Push in order to win. They cannot stop. You cannot have that last couple minutes that you had in this Game 6 where you're turning the ball over and allowing a run. You cannot allow them to go on runs to end the quarter. We finally put our foot down today, and Denver was able to put their foot down today and end quarters the way that OKC has been ending quarters. And that is hitting big shots, going on 9-0 runs, and taking over. That's what we need to see as fans, and that's what Denver needs to continue doing in order to win this next game and move on to another conference finals. There is no other way to put it. David Adelman finally adjusted his rotation, adjusted his minutes. Again, I would still like to see Zeke Naji in there more, and I would probably like to see Russ in there less. But at the same time, I'm happy with what we saw today. We saw more people going in and out, which is what we needed, instead of just letting people go on their runs. When somebody was hot, he stayed in the game, and that was great. But we need to continue to push through it and win these games. Denver needs to put their foot down, come out hot in the Game 7 against OKC at their home, and take over the same way they did Game 1, go to the Western Conference Finals, get their revenge on Minnesota, and go to another Finals. That's what we need to see from this team. Anyway, Denver fans, that is all I got for you today. I know there's probably so much more to talk about, and I'll cover that tomorrow, but I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy this night before Game 7, and I'll catch you guys soon.